Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you find this video useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below and subscribe to my channel. In today's video, we'll be making a wrap top, or you can also call it a wrap crop top. It is very simple to make and also very beginner friendly. So for this tutorial, we're going to be cutting out the back panel first before we cut out the front panel. So I have my fabric here already. It's in a fold of 2. So I folded this fabric using my bust measurement, which is the biggest circumference of my upper body. So my bust measurement is 42 inches divided by 4, that is 10.5 inches. And I went ahead to add additional 2 inches to it, making 12.5 inches. So for the length, I'm using my shoulder to my waist measurement, which is 17 inches. And I added 1 extra inch for folding at the base, making 18 inches. So I have 18 inches full length here. So the first thing I want to do now is to draw out a starting line. So this line that we've drawn out here will serve as our shoulder line. So I'm going to be taking all the vertical measurements from that line. So the next thing we want to do now is to take our shoulder line from our shoulder to our bust measurement. So my shoulder to my bust measurement is 10 inches. So I'll go ahead to mark 10 inches. Then from my shoulder to my under bust is 13 inches. And to my waist measurement is 17 inches. So the extra point there is for folding at the base. So I'll go ahead now to draw out horizontal lines on this. So draw horizontal lines on the point that we've marked. So after drawing out the lines, go ahead to label it. So this first line is going to be our shoulder line, our bust line, our under bust, and our waist line. So after that, the next thing is to place our shoulder measurement. So my shoulder to shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided by 2, that is 8 inches. So go ahead to mark 8 inches on the shoulder line. So from that 8 inches, my round armhole measurement is 18 inches divided by 2, that is 9 inches. So I'm going to come down by 9 inches from the 8 inches point. So then go ahead to connect the 2 points together using your ruler. The point where the 2 lines meet is going to serve as our chest line. So I'll go ahead now to extend the line. So to get your armhole curve, come down to the 9 inches line you drew and look for the midpoint, which is 4.5 inches. Then form a curve to meet the chest line. So this point is going to serve as our armhole. So after that, the next thing we want to do now is to place our neckline measurement. So for the wideness of the neckline, I want it to be 4 inches. So you can decide to use anything that suits you. And for the depth, I want it to be 2 inches because I don't want it to be deep at the back. So I'll just go ahead and form a curve connecting both points together. So after that, the next thing now is to mark our shoulder slope. So I'm going to come down by 1 inch at this point. Then I'll connect it to meet the neck width. So after that, the next thing we want to do now is to place our round body measurement. So starting with the bust measurement, my bust measurement is 42 inches divided by 4, that is 10.5 inches. Then I'll be adding additional 1 inch to it for seam allowance, that is 11.5 inches. So I'll go ahead now to mark 11.5 inches. So I'll place the same 11.5 inches on my chest line. So my round waist measurement is 38 inches divided by 4, that is 9.5 inches. So I'll add additional 1 inch to it, making 10.5 inches. So go ahead to mark it. So now connect the 2 points together using your ruler. And the next thing now is to cut it out. After cutting out, this is what it looks like. So we're going to be using the back panel now to cut out the front panel. So to cut out the front panel, I have my fabric folded into 2 already. So this is the open side of the fabric and that is the closed angle. So go ahead now and place your back panel on the fabric. So make sure the open sides are on the same side. So place your back panel on your fabric like this. So the first thing you want to do now is to extend your waistline. So I'm going to be extending mine by 10.5 inches, the same measurement I have on my back panel. So I'll extend it by another 10.5 inches. This is because it's a wrap top, so that it can have the wrap effect in front. So go ahead to mark 10.5 inches there. So I'll connect the 2 points together. So for the neck depth for the front panel, I'll be using 7 inches. So I'll come down and mark 7 inches on my fabric. So you can decide to use anything from 7, 8, 9 or 10. So you also go ahead now to mark out the neck width on your fabric. After that, fold in the back neckline this way so that it won't interfere with your front neckline when you are joining both points together. So now connect the width to the depth of the neckline. Connect the 2 points together using your ruler. So from this point, draw a straight line to meet the waistline for the front panel. Connect both points together to form like a triangle. So after joining both points together, this is what it looks like. So the next thing you want to do now is to cut it out. So still leave the back panel placed on it like this while you cut out the front panel. So after upload up the fabric, this is what it looks like. So you can see we have 2 pieces of the front panel because the fabric was on fold. And this is the back panel. This is also what it looks like. So the next thing to do now is to join the front and the back panel together. So place the right side of the front panel and the back panel facing each other. As you can see in the video, place the right side facing each other. So the first thing you want to do is to secure the shoulders together. Then after that, I'll join the two sides together using my 1 inch sewing allowance. So when I'm done with that, I'll show you. So after joining the shoulders and the sides together, this is what it looks like. I also went ahead to finish up the neckline using a bias strip, as you can see. So I finished it up using a bias strip, and I've also folded in the base by 1 inch. So the next thing to do now is to cut out our sleeve. The next stage now is to cut out our sleeve. I have this fabric cut out already. I have 2 pieces of it and it's in a fold. So I cut out this fabric using my round armhole measurement. My round armhole measurement is 18 inches divided by 2, that is 9 inches. And I added additional 2 inches to it, making 11 inches. So I have a fabric in a fold of 11 inches. Then for the length of the sleeve, I want the length of 15 inches. And I added additional 1 inch at the base because it's going to be having elastic at the base. So the first thing now is to draw out a line, a starting line at the top. So after marking out the starting line, the next thing now is our cap's height measurement. So to get your cap's height, you're going to divide your bust measurement by 12 and add half an inch to it. So my bust measurement is 42 inches divided by 12 plus half an inch is 4 inches. So I'm going to come down by 4 inches from my starting line. So I'm going to draw a straight line now on the 4 inches point. So I have 2 lines now. So on the starting line, I'll be marking my round armhole measurement divided by 2, which is 9 inches. Then I'll mark the same 9 inches on my cap's height line. 9 inches. So from the top of my starting line, I'm just going to form a curve down to meet the 9 inches point on my cap's height. So since the base of the sleeve is going to be having elastic, I'll just connect the 9 inches points now to the base of the fabric, since we'll be adding elastic at the base. So I'll connect this point down to meet the edge of the fabric. So after that, we'll go ahead now to cut it out. After cutting out, I'll be using this sleeve to cut out the second sleeve. So after cutting the second sleeve, I'll show you guys the next thing to do. So this is what the sleeve will look like after joining. So I also went ahead to fold in the base. Then I left a 1 inch gap. This is where I'll be passing my elastic band through. So I'm going to show you guys now how to attach your sleeve to your jacket. I also went ahead to give it a notch at the upper edge so that I would match the notched parts to the point where I joined it on the shoulder. So now this is the right side of the sleeve. Pass it through your fabric this way. Then make sure the part you notched, you match it to the part where you join the shoulders together, like this. So make sure the notched part is directly on the shoulder joining this way. Then you use your pin to secure it together. So use your pin to join the sleeve to your jacket. So join it this way. Using your pin to join it is going to make it easy for you when you are sewing. So the point where you join both the sleeve and the jersey, you're going to join that part together too. We join this way. So take it to your sewing machine now and sew it all the way around. So I'll repeat the same thing for the other sleeve, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when I'm done with it. So after attaching the sleeve, this is what it looks like. I also went ahead to insert the elastic band at the base of the sleeve to give it the balloon effect. So this is what it looks like. I used 10 inches of elastic band. So the next thing now is to attach our belts to the top. So I have this fabric cut out already. It's 30 inches long. So I'll just go ahead and place the right side facing the right side of the top. Then I'll go ahead and sew it together. So when I'm done with that, I'm going to show you guys the finished product of our top. So guys, this is the finished product of our top. You can see how beautiful it looks and how easy it is to make. So if you find this video useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe to my channel. See you in my next video.